gets it in a group setting, whatever, is it highly contagious or?
Yes, it is. Close contacts always have to be treated because it's very high risk for contagion. When my daughter got sick, there were 3 other girls who got sick with her. They had been on a bus coming back from Disney on Ice with the Boys and Girls Club in Lawrence when she got sick.
Something that,
And in terms of availability, if I could just comment on that, Sanofi Pasteur, who manufactures the vaccine in Pennsylvania, they've made it much more available so that you're not seeing long waiting lists for the vaccine. And my understanding from the DPH is that 95% of the insurance companies are covering it now, and that parents can apply for aid if they need it to get the vaccine. And the number that I had for colleges requiring it at this point, I also got that 72% number from the DPH.
now, are we limiting this program to the high school right now, or is it gonna be?
Right now, the informational packets will be going home to middle school and high school students. The presentation itself with the video is for the senior students only after a screening is offered to all the parents.
And that would be the parents of middle school and high school.
Yeah, all
But
of the parents are welcome to come to the screening.
Because as someone who, I read as many newspapers as I can, and this is, it's kind of like in the shadows, because
No,
you don't.
this week it's all going out. I've
No,
talked to.
I'm talking about the disease in general.
Oh, the
You don't-
disease.
I guess you only hear about it when
there's
someone
an outbreak.
that lives in your area
It
is
is that
affected.
type of disease. You don't hear about it till something serious happens on the news and you have a kid that age and
Right.
you're like, gee, that could have been my kid at college.
But
Right.
every year you
It's
hear
one of
about
those-
one
One kid,
college.
right, one college,
right,
one kid.
You do.
somewhere.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll be announcing all of our activities by email. It'll be up on the web and it'll be in the transcript to inform everybody of the goings-on of this program.
Any other questions?
Just thank you for taking
Yes,
such a
this is-
proactive role in
yes.
the education system. I think it's great, and would love to hear more from the nursing staff. As issues come forward that you think, you want to help educate parents, and bring it to the kids in the high school forum. That's what that power block is there for, so this
Well,
is
we appreciate all of
awesome.
your support, and Dr. Troden has been a key player in helping us bring this to fruition, so thank you very much.
So in the next few weeks, the information will be going out?
Yep, some of it already went out today.
Okay.
This helps,
Okay.
this is like a
Back.
piece of health
Yes.
curriculum that we don't have for students.
Yes, that, exactly.
That we're gonna
Curriculum that we
piecemeal.
don't have at this
Yeah.
point.
It's like one of my brothers had this disease when he was an infant and was fortunate. The only effect was that we had to watch the points in his skull where the fluid had been drained while he grew up. Yeah, I don't want people to think that it's necessarily a fatal disease, but I think as children get older, they become less resilient and it becomes more serious, and there is a need to be thinking about this kind of vaccination. I would think probably when people are seriously starting to think about going after summer camps and that kind of activity.
Definitely.
I'm very happy to hear that there is a vaccine. I'd actually, heard about and known about meningitis, and it's a terrifically scary disease because it looks like the flu most of the time, and it's, and I wouldn't relish, it looks like the most accurate way of diagnosing it is a spinal tap, where they check the spinal fluid, and I'd much rather give my kid a vaccine than have them go to the hospital for a spinal tap to check for that. That's extremely painful. So I'm just, thank you very much for bringing this to public attention.
Dr. Trojan, would you like to say anything else?
No, again, both the nurses have been very instrumental in putting all of this together, and they'll be doing a great job in terms of communicating with parents and the community. And you may want to say one more time the dates on the screening, so people will have that out there in their
Yeah.
minds.
Parents of middle schoolers and high schoolers are invited to the high school auditorium at 6:30 on April 29th. Senior students are the only students who will be watching the video, and they'll be watching that in an assembly on May 6th.
Senior high school students or
Yeah.
senior?
Senior high school students, yep. Okay.
Just, like now my parenting mind is going, if it's close proximity to like dormitory settings, does that hold true for athletes in locker rooms?
Definitely. Actually, we had a kid at the high school, several years ago that we had to treat all of his athletic, teammates.
And when you mentioned, you know, the close proximity and sharing things, you also said smoking and drinking. What is it about smoking and drinking? Is it because they share the same cigarette or beer
Yeah,
bottle?
they're not really sure, but it seems that when the body gets run down, and they're sleep deprived, and they're drinking and smoking, and even being exposed to secondhand smoke makes the body more susceptible. I'm not sure that they understand why.
Just the saliva contact too, and sharing sodas, drinks, straws. Up at the high school, I had kids sharing chapstick, the
Yeah.
water bottles with sports of all ages.
Especially with the advent of water
Right.
bottles. They all
I share everything.
They do.
Well, I really
Bring
appreciate-
back water bubblers.
No, those are-
Oh, those are
German
too.
The entire whole class football team,
Right.
hepatitis,
Right.
share
Yeah.
a water bubble, yeah.
Well, you know, and you think it's a good thing when you're teaching your kids to share.
Well,
In
it
some
is.
instances, well,
See,
yes,
that's why we
but
need formal
when it
health
comes to
education.
food,
Well,
no.
and I think, yes, it does speak to the need for formal health education, and I also think that just what I've learned from this presentation is that the role of the school nurse, and we're very fortunate to have a nurse full-time in each of our schools, is so vital and so important, not just for the day-to-day interventions that working with our students and our staff, but in terms of educating all of us about various health needs, so, thank you.
Yeah, we thank you for bringing this to our attention and making the effort, because I think this is really important. So, thanks a lot. It's much
Okay.
appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's move back to our regular agenda. Under continued business, the fiscal year '09 budget. So, you got anything specific you want to?
Well, I thought that it would be important to just update everyone on the outcome of last week's town meeting and the budget, and just to be clear on what it is that we're going to be able to do as a result of that budget. As you know, the town meeting actually passed two budgets. One is an available funds budget or balanced budget, and prior to town meeting, I had presented a staffing pyramid. Everyone is talking now about the staffing pyramid, which had three different levels. And under the approved available funds budget, we will be able to address priorities 1 and priority 2. And basically what that will do is to hire teachers at priority 1 to focus on the needs of the elementary schools in terms of reading and special education. And at the high school, we'll be able to address needed positions to provide additional programs in the core subject areas, in sciences, in math, and in English, and to address the high class sizes, and to expand the number of offerings that are available for our students. And then at priority 2, which is also supported under the balanced or available funds budget, we will be able to begin to restore some of the programs that were cut in June, particularly in music and in art and in physical education. And this will lead to the return to a full schedule, 5 days a week. And will also either eliminate or significantly reduce the number of study halls in the middle school. Again, the reason this year for dismissing early on 2 days, for 2 hours on Wednesday, every Wednesday during the week or during the year at the elementary and middle school was because we lost 11.5 positions. And the bulk of those positions focus on the arts, music, art, physical education, and technology, the cultures program at the middle school. So we're going to be able to bring those programs back. The principals and I are working on what is the best way to do that, because even at priority 2, we're not actually able to restore every position that was cut. But we're making the commitment to obviously use that additional funding as wisely as possible, and focusing on the music and the art and the physical education in the elementary and middle school level. Priority 3 is not addressed under the available funds budget. And this would be addressed if an override was passed. And at priority 3, we would restore, would hire some additional teachers and restore further programs that were lost out of the 11.5 last June. And that includes some physical education program at the high school, includes some additional core teachers at the high school, and some technology, library, media positions that were lost as well. But the budget, the available funds budget, I believe, is an 8.1% increase over the current fiscal year, and we're very appreciative of all of the hard work, not only the collaborative work done among the Board of Selectmen, the school committee, and the finance committee, but also the work of many parents through North Reading United for Education, and many parents are working tirelessly to focus on quality education. We know that some hard decisions were made on the town side, and we believe that those were done to support education. And that's what I think a community is all about. And in the end, our students will be the direct beneficiaries of that. So that's where we are in the budget right now. We did place an ad in the Boston Globe for hiring new positions. We need to get underway with that because we're going to be competing with a number of school districts, and we want to be sure that we're able to hire quality teachers.
Yeah, I know, I've had some discussions with Mrs. Vaca this week, and she's had discussions with you regarding the course selection at the high school, and I wanted to give Mrs. Vaca a chance to discuss that briefly tonight.
Sure. Well, you said that in the priority 1, they were core teachers, so that's not a new program. But in the priority 3, it's the elective for juniors and seniors. And they're going to have the physical education,
Right.
which they don't have this year. So it's new, it's restoring. And they're going through the course selection, and it's not in the book. And we don't know if the override will pass, but how are we gonna handle that? John Bernard told us that there's some 150 kids that in the past have elected PE, and they've been put into other classrooms. As a result, they had to choose another elective. So our intention of putting that in the budget as a priority was twofold: to bring more health education and offer the PE program, but also to alleviate basically the arts programs that were overcrowded. So how are we going to, how are they going to address that? The override should pass, but nobody signed up for the class.
Well, I think, first of all, it is not in the program of studies, and the
Right.
program of studies went forward back in February based on different information about the budget.